Joined now on the show by Edmonton Oil Kings forward and Team Canada gold medalist Dylan Guenther. Dylan, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we may as well just start with the gold medal. What was that whole experience like, winning gold for Canada? You had a great tournament too. Like, how's the whole experience in Texas? I'm not sure anybody in their junior career really imagines playing hockey in Texas.
Yeah, it was great. I think whenever you get the opportunity to play for Team Canada, it's always you always wear it with pride, and it's a huge honor. I think it's every kid's kind of childhood dream to play at one of these tournaments and to win gold down there. With a great group of guys and a great team was just an amazing feeling and something that I'll never forget.
So what was the setup like? I would imagine, were you guys kind of in like a bubble with yourselves there? I'd imagine you kind of got to really know your teammates a lot more than maybe like other years where you kind of go around and like hang out with people you know kind of deal. So how was all that for you?
Yeah, we were in a bubble like area, I guess. I think you really only see your teammates and the coaches and all the staff, so you really get to know them a lot better. And leading up to the tournament, we were on Zoom calls and whatnot, just doing icebreakers and just trying to get to know each other a little bit better and get some communication going, so that when we did see each other, it wasn't as weird, I guess. So yeah, it was good to get to know them before, and I was familiar with some of the players before, as I live close to them and train close to them, and I had the opportunity to play with some of them on Team Canada White at the U17. So I think that those were all good experiences and something that helped me leading into this tournament.
So how did you receive the news that you had made the team?
Yeah, just a phone call. I had no idea. I think I knew the tournament was happening, but I wasn't sure, if I'd get the opportunity to play there. And obviously, when I got the phone call, it was just nothing but excitement, and I couldn't wait to go there and represent my country.
So I'm curious too. You're obviously likely going to be a high pick in this draft, and also on the team you had Shane Wright, who was the captain, and then Connor Bedard. Like, the future of hockey in Canada looks pretty bright with at least the three of you guys. What were those two like to play with?
Yeah, they were great. I think, they're obviously super skilled players, as we all see, and they can do great things, on the ice, but also super good guys off the ice. And, they handle themselves like pros, even though they're younger than everyone. You wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, they're both super mature and handle themselves great. So that's just a credit to them.
So I just want to go back to your original draft day when you were drafted first overall by the Oil Kings. Like, what was it like being drafted by you're from Edmonton, your hometown team, I guess you could call it. Like, were you expecting, I guess, to go first overall? Obviously, being a high pick and everything, like it was likely. Like, how excited were you to get picked by Edmonton, and what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, it was a great, crazy moment. Leading up to the draft, I obviously hoped and wanted to play for the Oil Kings, and that my hometown team, and I grew up watching them. But they had the first pick, and I didn't know if I was going to go first or not, so I didn't really have my heart set on it. But when they called my name, it was just nothing but excitement for both me and my family. And it's really a childhood dream to get to play for my hometown team and kind of be one of those players that little kids in the area grew up watching. So yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome. And of course, like, Oil Kings get to play in an NHL arena. You're in that massive facility there. Like, so I just want to talk about last season a little bit. So I watched quite a few games last season, and it seemed like you progressively adjusted to the league and the style, and it maybe took you about 10 games or so to really, I think, become the Dylan Guenther that we all kind of know now. Like, do you kind of see it that way too? And how was it? How was it kind of going from NAX to junior, and what were the coaches like to work with, and how did they help you become the player you are right now?
Yeah, I think midget to junior is a big jump, and that's something that not everyone can translate to. And it's really hard. I think the players are a lot bigger, they're a lot stronger, they're a lot faster, and just the time you have with the puck is just so limited, and all the time and space that you would have in midget is taken away. So I think that was a little bit of an adjustment, and just playing with the bigger guys is definitely a challenge, especially when you're a young kid, you're not as strong as them or maybe not as fast as them yet. So you have to kind of get a jump early on them, or try to find out how you can beat them. And I think it did take me a while, but all my teammates and coaches were there for me, and they helped me a lot. I think that my coach played in the Western Hockey League, and he's been in my shoes before, and he knew what it was like, so he helped me a lot. And then just having guys on the team who have been through that before too, I think that always helps, and you can talk to them about anything. So yeah, it was great.
So last year, as you progressed, like we were talking about, you became a first-line winger with Riley Sawchuk and Jake Neighbors, and you guys had some pretty crazy plays together. One that comes to mind was one that Neighbors scored, where you guys made the tic-tac-toe play against Red Deer, and I think there was like 6 seconds left. Like, what was it like playing with those guys, and like how good was the chemistry between the three of you? Like, it just seemed very natural after a while.
Yeah, it was really good. I think we kind of all brought something different to the table, and that we all have different skill sets that we were really good at, and they kind of complemented each other on a line. And I love playing with both those guys. And on the ice, they're obviously a pleasure to play with, but off the ice, also big role models for me. They conduct themselves like pros, and they were guys who I'd kind of look up to and try to be like. Whether it's after practice in the weight room or just going out to a team meal, they're always professional. And I think that those are two guys who I really looked up to, and to be able to, play with them on the ice is just, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. So one goal I wanted to specifically ask you about was a goal you scored against the Edmonton Oil Kings last year, where you kind of went end to end and then you took it, like you put it through 3 guys and you skated around them. Was that kind of the intention of that goal, or did it just kind of fall in your favor the way it all went down?
Yeah, I think it fell in my favor a little bit. I remember kind of going down and I saw that it was a forward who was playing defense. So I kind of went to his side and then put the puck to an area there, and it kind of just went on my stick again and I scored. So I think it was a good play. Obviously happy with how it went, but definitely a little bit of luck there too.
Yeah, so this season obviously a lot different for everyone in North America with COVID and stuff. You started the year with the Sherwood Park Crusaders in the AJHL and then went back to WHL when that began, and pretty much just like dominated the season too as you were there, 2 points almost every game. And how did you kind of find the season for yourself from going for the Crusaders, that kind of era, and then into the Oil Kings, and obviously not playing in Rogers Place anymore? Was it a big adjustment going everything that was going on?
Yeah, I think the AJ and the Western League are a bit different. I think the AJ is a bit of a grittier league, and I think it was good for me to kind of go there and just bump my shoulders around and feel like what it's like to get hit and play in games and be in a team atmosphere. And I think that helped me leading into the Oil Kings, as I was kind of a bit more ready and prepared for what a regular season is like. So I'm definitely grateful for that opportunity and the opportunity that the Crusaders gave me. And then with the Oil Kings, I think that for us, we were just trying to build off where we left off last year as a team, and both individually. I think we had a good season last year as a team, and our goal for this year was to just keep building off that and just keep getting better every single day. And we did that, and that's kind of our mentality that we took into practice every single day. And it helped us win a lot of games this year.
Yeah, so you just said the Oil Kings, like you said, had a really good season last year, and you guys had another good one this year. Like, how fun has it been these past couple of years, just playing and winning so many games and scoring a lot of goals and just having just exciting for you guys? How was all that?
Yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. I think when the team has success, the individual does too, and we're all great buddies off the ice, and we hang out and we love each other. But when we go on the ice for practice, we do battle hard against each other, and I think if you want to be a good team, you have to be able to battle hard against, your buddies and your teammates and push them, because if you're not pushing them, you're not getting better, and neither are they. So I think that's kind of a big key to team success, is just pushing each other in practice and, in the gym after practice.
Mm-hmm. So going back to Team Canada a little bit, and just want to talk about the fans. Like last night, Florida and Tampa Bay played, and it was just a very gritty and like hard battle game, and you could feel the energy that the fans were kind of bringing to the arena. Like, how much did you guys miss? How much did you miss that, and the team miss that, going from the Rogers Place? You guys had a lot of fans almost every game, and then you go from that to almost nothing. Do you think that was it a lot different to start with, and just kind of get used to it?
Yeah, I think exactly that, just getting used to it. I mean, we definitely missed all of our fans a ton. As the building is definitely not the same when, you come out or you score a goal. I think we're used to that raw energy, and a team can kind of build off that, but it's definitely harder when there's no one really cheering in the stands except for your teammates. So I think that, it was weird the first couple of games, but we definitely adjusted to it and kind of just played as we would normally.
Mm-hmm. So obviously your draft year this year, that's why you're on the show. Like, How has that process been for you? You know, there's a couple of guys on the Oil Kings. I spoke to Sebastian Costa the other day too, and he was saying guys like Matthew Robertson and Jake Neighbors have kind of been big and talking to each other, and you and Costa as well, I would imagine. Have they been kind of good support guys to ask questions to and such?
Yeah, definitely. I think not a whole lot of conversation goes on between the draft with myself and Jake or Robbie. I think most of it's just indirect, kind of what I'm picking up off them, and kind of just how they handled it the past 2 seasons. I think I got to see Jake handle it a bit more, and I think he did a great job. He's very well spoken, and he acts like a professional, and he works hard every single practice. So I kind of just learned that from him, and then I'd watch his interviews and kind of see what he would say and what he thought of the game. So I think it's always good to have a player who's been in your shoes before, kind of go through the whole process, so you know what it's like a bit heading into it.
Is there a bit more added pressure in your draft year compared to what you had last year? Obviously, it's a lot different as well, just because of the way the season was. But do you kind of just forget about it after a couple of games, or how does that go?
Yeah, I think it's a bit different this year than last year, just because we had limited number of games and showings, as opposed to like a 68 game season. But I think for me, when I'm playing my best, I'm just having fun and working hard within the team systems. And but when I play with a clear mind, that's when I'm at my best. I think if I overthink it or start thinking about other things, that doesn't really help my game. So for me, I just kind of stay focused and try to play my game out there every single day.
And last two for you here, I guess I'll just put them together. How are you preparing for the draft now that the season is over? And I suppose once you're done with your quarantine, and do you have any plans for draft day?
Yeah, I think I'm just preparing. I'm just trying to get better, with what I have at home. The rinks are closed here right now, so I have to find alternative ways to keep getting better, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. I've kind of been through this before, and I know what I have to do, and I think not really any plans. I think there's a lot of uncertainty this year, and I've kind of learned how to expect the unexpected and kind of always be ready. So that's kind of just how I'm approaching the draft day in, day out.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time to do this for me, Dylan, and best of luck in the draft.
Yeah, no.